Welcome to Let's Figure This Shit Out, the podcast where we talk life, love, motherhood, wellness, and all the wild, messy, beautiful stuff in between. I am Tomikai Latoya, and if you've ever felt like you're just making this up as you go, same. This is a space for honest conversations, unfiltered truths, and figuring things out together, one real talk at a time. So grab your tea, get cozy, and let's figure this shit out. Now that we've gotten introductions out of the way, let's get into it. Let's get into figuring this shit out. So this is my fourth time attempting and trying to do a podcast and figuring out how to have a productive podcast, figure out how to have a consistent podcast. And let's be real, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know that I have a story to tell. I know that the lessons I learned or have learned can help others. I know that my words and my lessons are powerful. And by me sharing my story, I might be able to help someone from either making the same mistakes that I did or to simply learn from the lessons that I've learned from. And so that's the essence of let's figure this shit out. Because let's be honest, like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, there's no blueprint, there's no manual, there's no book when it comes to this thing that we call life. And day to day, we're just trying to figure out where we fit in. We're trying to figure out where we matter or what matters to us. And so that's what the essence of let's figure this shit out is about. Like, I'm not going to come on here and tell you that there's one set way to do something. I'm not going to come on here and be like, well, this is the way that it has to be. Because there isn't one way to do a thing. There isn't one way to live. There isn't one way to go through your spiritual journey. There's not one set way to do anything. But at the end of the day, as long as you're continuing to try to figure it out and to be the best that you can be at figuring it out, then I say you're already ahead of the game. So today we're just going to dig into figuring out life, not from a perfect place, but from a messy, real, in progress, I don't know what I'm doing, ass backwards kind of space that so many of us live every day. So why do we try to put this pressure on us to live this perfect life, to try to do things perfectly or to do things one set way? Who put those standards on us? And why do we have to live up to those standards? Who told us that, oh, you had to live life this way in order to be this way? You have to, check off all these boxes on someone else's checklist to be a good person or to live a good life. That's bull. Like, that's like completely bull. That's bull. Like, that's not the way that it is. It's not the way that it has to be. And that's completely fine. We are taught that life has a destination. But really, let's be honest, it's just a practice. We're here to practice. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to evolve. That's the point of life. Trying to get it perfect, to me, is pointless. Life is going to always have its ebbs and flows from different seasons and different season lessons. There are going to be things that come along. There's things that leave us. But figuring it out isn't a straight line. It's a spiral. You revisit things again and again, but with deeper understanding, sometimes with more questions than answers. Sometimes the next step isn't loud, but soft, and you need quiet to hear it. So I'm grateful. I'm glad that you're here. Listen to me, to share my story, share my insight and what I've learned and how far I've come, in hopes that my lessons, my points of views can help you And we can start a conversation. We can create community around just simply trying to do the thing that we call life at the best that we can. That's what let's figure it out. Let's figure this shit out. That's what it's about. Just figuring out life. There's no one set way to do this. There's no one set way to live. It's all about doing what works and what is best for you and figuring this shit out one step at a time. Society puts so much pressure on us to always have everything together by a certain age, or, whether that be career, marriage, kids. Society puts pressure on us to have everything together at a certain age, or to say that you're supposed to graduate from school, go straight to college, then get married, then have kids. Like they're putting a timeline on individuals when even the people who look like they've got it together don't. It's all a facade. It's all a front. Life is layered. It's evolving and unpredictable. And we don't always have to have the answers. And I know I'm sounding like I'm getting deep on this episode, our first episode, and maybe I am. And we're going to have some light episodes, some funny episodes, some hard truth episodes. But I want to set the premise and the basis is that myself, a woman who is soon to be 37, who is a wife, who is a mother, who is a author, entrepreneur, a woman who holds and wears different hats, right? Even at this point in my life, where at one point I thought I had this shit figured out, and realizing that I don't. But being grateful for where I am, being grateful for how far I've come, and being grateful that I have the awareness to know that, oh, wait a minute, what I thought I knew, I don't. What I thought I knew about life and life lessons, I don't. I have learned some things along the way, but I still have so much more to learn. Or learning that often clarity comes after the chaos or after the mess, or learning that when you are going through something and you thinking it's the end of the world, it's because you're at the tip of a breakthrough, something great happening to and for you. Let's figure this shit out is about bringing to the forefront the lessons that you learned in the times in your life where the unknown brought you growth. And the tools and things we can use along the way. Me, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a journal girl. So I like to journal. I like to write. For my people who have, which I have before in the past, use therapy and spiritual guidance. Creating a space of solitude and rest for yourself. Embracing your intuition, learning and growing your intuition, and to shut out your outside voices, the outside noise. Learning to ask what feels true for me right now. And to have compassion for yourself. Letting go of timelines and people pleasing, not comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. And embracing trusting the slow bloom of the beautiful lotus flower that you are. And y'all have learned that lotus flowers, one, are my favorite flower. And two, the meaning behind the lotus flower and the journey of the lotus flower, which is why it's my favorite flower. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you're here. So happy that you're here. This is the first episode, And something else that I'm learning in this episode, or what I'm learning about this podcast and what I want this podcast to be, and again, and me not knowing what the hell I'm doing when it comes to having a podcast and the podcast being successful, it's like I am not holding myself to anyone else's standards. So there may be episodes where, they may be 30 minutes long. There may be episodes where they're not. There may be episodes where you may see my face, my beautiful, beautiful face on video, and there may be episodes where I don't. But I will say that I will do my best to be consistent, to have an episode for you all every single week. That's right. I'm putting that on me. Every single week on Thursday, dropping an episode for you all and bringing the truth, bringing hard truths, bringing resources, bringing real conversations about trying to figure this shit out. Because to be honest with you, if anybody came to me and told me that they knew it all and they had it all figured out, I would run. I would get far, far, far away from that person and call bullshit. Because to be honest, life is a never-ending journey of just learning, learning yourself, learning others, learning about our connection to source, and continuing to want to ask the questions. So I invite you, and I want to ask you to ask yourself, what am I currently figuring out? And how can I give myself grace today? And then I want you to do it again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. Because we don't have it figured out. Nobody does. No one has this thing figured out. So it's okay to move in that. It's okay to give yourself grace. It's okay to know that as long as you get up every rising and you are determined to live a good life of happiness, of peace, no matter what comes your way, no matter what may try to come against you, and you know that you're just solely trying to figure this shit out, you've done what you're supposed to do. Mission fucking accomplished. So I thank you all for being here on the first episode of Let's Figure This Shit Out. Like I said, we'll be putting out an episode every week on Thursday. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I am Tomikaya Latoya. You can also head over to my business page, which is Airrepel Wellness, where we have all the things when it comes to herbal teas and herbal products, as well as courses, lessons, and workshops. And I'll see you all next time. Peace. All right, family, that's it for today's episode. If this hit home for you and you resonated with it in some shape, form, or fashion, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, none of us have this figured out, but we're in this together. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep figuring this shit out. Till next time, peace.